First of all, I want to welcome everyone. This is Art Napolitano. I know there's many people just getting up here on the West Coast. Good morning to all of you in the United States. If you're out in California, I see a lot of my friends. First of all, I want to thank you for getting up, and also for people here on the East Coast where it's just after 12 noon, and those in Europe, I know it's in the evening. It is on your Saturday. So I want to thank all of you that are taking time to be part of this Zoom meeting. It's a very special Zoom meeting because I'm getting the chance to interview Mr. Doug Peterson, who is the CEO of Zinzino. So I want to welcome all of you to be part of this. I've only been with Zinzino less than half a year, but I've known about this company for many years. Due to circumstance, my direct selling career changed, and about the turn of 2023, I started evaluating everything in the industry after having almost a 35-year history, building millions of customers, doing in the billions in sales, working all over the world in 4 continents and over 23 countries. I started looking at what is the next big thing. And also for me, what is my last run in this industry? And I had a chance to really talk to many owners. I talked to many CEOs. I had a chance to really evaluate the company, the products, the business plan. And mostly I would tell you that companies that you look at are mostly private, and that's not bad or good. It's just a reality. If they're private, that means you really have to trust what they tell you in terms of their finances. But Zinzino being traded on the NASDAQ in Scandinavia, you were able to look at all the quarterly financials, the annual reports. And that was important to me because I wanted to first know that it was a solid company financially. Being also an expert in the direct-to-consumer home-based business model, I understood that a lot of times changes happen. And for me, a lot of those changes didn't affect me in a positive way as someone that's created such a huge business for many companies. And what I liked about Zinzino is when I learned about Orion and Hilda Sali, that they actually saw a vision in Zinzino beyond what even they wanted to do in terms of management of the company. They founded it, got it up and running, but they put themselves into the field, meaning they got paid exactly the same way you and I get paid. They actually saw themselves, like I see myself, as a networker, someone that could build teams of people, someone that could develop customers, someone that could help people to be able to achieve financial success and improve their health with Zinzino. But what they also knew is that they should put professional management, people that had experience that could take this company into the billions of sales. And that was impressive to me. I haven't seen any company do that. So I had a chance to go to Oslo. I had a chance to meet with Orion and Hilda. I've been there several times now. I had a chance to tour the manufacturing. I had a chance to tour the research facility and the testing laboratory, the independent laboratory, Vetus Laboratories, which was mentioned in the video. I was really impressed with every level of this company, but especially the management. I was so impressed when I had a chance to meet with Doug Peterson and some of his corporate staff, and I realized they were building something special. They were building a business that was not just a fad, something that was going to come and go, but they were building a company that would be successful for many, many years. And in fact, when you looked and studied the financials, you could see the company was, over the last few years went from like 80 to 120 and now nearly 200 million in sales. I said, okay, this company is really going up that bell curve. It's about to explode. I personally did not want to be part of anybody's experiment. I also did not want to join a company that was doing $1 billion plus, which there aren't a lot, but I did not want to do that. I wanted to take the ride. I realized that timing and positioning is so important to financial success that I wanted to find a company that was just about to explode. But I knew that you had to have a great product. I knew you had to find a huge problem. And if you could find that problem and provide a solution, then you had something special. And just recently, in fact, if you went out and looked at the direct selling industry, you're going to realize a lot of companies are not doing that well. Now, if you're new, you probably don't know that, but with Zinzino, something special was going on. Only 5 years ago, they started to spread from Scandinavia through the European markets and then around the world. Can you imagine they're in 45 countries now? Can you imagine they ship to over 100? And the vision here is in the next 26 years, by 2050, the date of this call, they're projecting that they want to reach 100 million customers. Now, we're not at a million yet. We're nearing that total and we'll get there by next year. But just think about this. Is that just a story? I remember talking to Orion, talking to Hilda, his wife, talking to Doug, and said, "Okay, I'm a network, I'm a sales guy, and we can project things, but is that a real number?" And then I realized when the World Health Organization says there's 6.3 billion people out of balance when it comes to not having enough omega-3 in their blood. That means from their essential fatty acids, the diet they're eating is not giving them enough omega-3 to actually offset all the omega-6 that we consume, that this is a major problem. And I thought if we could just get 1.5% of the people awake, wake them up to this problem and the solution that Zinzino has, I realized 1.5% is almost 100 million customers. But I also realized there's 1 billion people taking supplements. Just imagine that 1 billion people on the planet already know it's important to take some kind of vitamin or supplement. And only half of them, a half a billion people, know it's important to take omega-3. Okay, so obviously, here's the situation where that a lot of those people aren't aware that they should be taking omega-3, that they're not aware they're deficient. People that are taking omega-3, like me, I was taking it and I had no idea if it was working. And I went and got tested. I took this balance test. And when I did, I found out I was out of balance, which means potentially I was living with inflammation. Now, this is the recent magazine from National Geographic, just came out, had a whole issue on anti-inflammation. In fact, there's a quote in here from the World Health Organization that says chronic inflammation is the largest threat to human health. Can you imagine that? Our chief scientific officer wrote a book called Out of the Fire. I recommend all of you get this book. He talks about chronic inflammation and how it's the root cause of so many health problems that we experience today. So again, I'm not going to get deep into the comp plan today, how we get paid. I'm not going to go deep into all the product lines, but our balanced oil is the hero product that we're marketing around the world. But we have a range of products that can address your gut health, which is where your immune system starts. We have a product that is, I call it a product called Extend, which is a multi-immune product. We have some skincare products for those that are interested. We also have products that can help you feel better in all different ways. But I'm just going to tell you, Zinzino has been a godsend in my life. When I met Orion, when I met Hilda, they knew we were in a tough position. The company I'd been with was shutting down all the international markets. I had a global distribution group. After being in this industry for almost 35 years and having incredible financial success, I found myself for the first time in more than 2 decades as a free agent, like an athlete. And I had a lot of teams wanting me to play for them because I've been a proven commodity. I've created, literally millions of customers and billions of sales. So I really put together a team to scrutinize every company. And part of that was to really evaluate the management. And what today is really all about is a chance to meet the captain of the ship. We're going to meet the guy that's behind Zinzino, that's driving this ship called Zinzino. And I'm going to spotlight myself and I'm going to spotlight him. So let me just do that. And I'm going to bring him on to the call with us right now. Where can I find you on the screen?
Somewhere.
Doug, I know you're there. There you are. Okay. Add spotlight. Okay. Hey, Mr. Doug Listen, first of all, good evening. Glad to see you on the Zoom with us today. We do have a few guests that are looking at Zinzino for the first time, but for all those partners that we have, many from Europe, and of course, back in the United States, I have a home in Spain, as you know, and I'm here for the summer and working in the US. And I'm excited about the US because of the 1.4 million people tested to date in Zinzino. That means people that are testing to find out what their balance is. Only about 34,000 are in the US, which means the US market, which should be the biggest market in the world, is, in fact, I think it's the fastest growing, according to Art the president of North America. We're on fire here. So I can't wait to help add to that number and to make Zinzino really huge in the US and around the world. So with that, Doug, thank you for joining me. So many people are excited to hear the message you have to share. But before we get into the Zinzino story, I love that you're a family guy. I love that you're a dad. I just love hearing you talk about your daughter and talk about your wife and your life. So you're just a really super great guy, and I think everyone should know a little bit about you personally. I know you're an avid reader. When I first met you the first time, and also Stacey and I came up, you gave us each books to read on different subjects. And Stacey, I know, loved the book, and you gave me a book on scaling businesses. So if you could just tell people a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your business background before you came to Zinzino.
Thank you for having me, Art. Good to see you. And again, happy birthday. So congrats. And well, thank you for that introduction. So I'm 54, so basically 10 years younger than you, even though you told me yesterday that you started to count backwards from you were 50. So you're leading that race. I have 3 daughters, Art. I have like 4 kids, 1 boy, 3 girls. Well, 17, 25, 27, and 30. So they're not like kids per se. Living in Oslo, married to my wife. She's also Norwegian. We've been together for 32 years. I was posting on our anniversary here, beginning of July, and I got so many posts. I got so many friends that I know of, don't know of on Facebook. So that is fascinating in itself. I've been around in Zinzino for now 13 years. Think about that, 13 years. So quite an extensive time. I've known the founders 22, 23 years back. So I met them when I was working in the telecoms. Well, that's about it.
Again, one of the big reasons I joined Zinzino was the management team led by you. And that's so important to any company to be able to grow. Could you talk about, what it's like and what your goal is when it comes to building a corporate team? Because I've been so impressed with the science advisory board, the country managers. It's like you've recruited an all-star team at the management level. I want to recruit an all-star team in the field, but you're doing the same thing on a corporate level. And again, that separates Zinzino from all the companies I evaluated.
Well, I think one thing you need to kind of think of, Art, is a lot of companies out there are in a rush. That doesn't mean that we don't have ambitions, because every day I would say I talk to Örjan and Hilda, the founders. We also have an eagerness to build a company, but it takes time to build an all-star team. So you need to have some kind of stability. So let me run through in 1 minute. So you need to have a clear vision. We say that we want to inspire change in people's lives. So for all of you out there, if you want to take notes, so you start with the vision, and then you The mission is what we do. We inspire health and wealth for customers, friends, and family, which is directly related to the direct sales industry, because you start with customers, and that should be your friends and family. So that's related to that. So vision, mission, and then of course you need to have some sort of ambition. And you mentioned it, in 2050 we want to have 100 million customers. So that is a red line towards everything that we do: the vision, the mission, and the ambition. And then you need to have code of conduct, corporate rules. You need to have core values. One of the things that we created like early stage was the ambition of having one company. One of the things that I've seen in many companies is that the field is one, and then the corporate side is a different one. I don't know why they ended up having it like that, but we tried to keep like one team united. So we say together we are stronger. That's one of the core values. And a different core value that we created like 10 years ago is to say continuously improvement, which then makes it okay to debate and discuss different things. So what can we do to improve? Like the video that you just showed in the beginning, that is a 5 years video. So I wish we saw the newest one. So that is good. It's still kind of good. Yeah, already. That wasn't the point. The point is that we continue to grow and develop ourselves. So vision, mission, ambition, which is like the goals, the core values, and then it comes down to the strategy. So you know, Art, every year I spend lots of time with the founders, the board, the management team, and the leader council on debating, discussing, and creating the strategy for Zinzino, making sure that they are invited in to discuss the different hot topics that we need to change and improve. We do a SWOT, which is a strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. We are okay talking about what we should achieve, what kind of problems we have. And it's totally okay to give us insights of things we should improve. That is the transparent way of dealing with the business. So I like to be upfront on that. So when we are meeting in Malaga here, that's a starting point where I'm inviting the leader council to give me insights and feedback about things we should do better the next 2-3 years. So you have the vision, the mission, the goals, the core values, the strategy, and then in the end, what is needed is a strong culture. We have had 19 years of growth, Art. That triggers and intrigues people to join forces with us. So if you go back and say, could I invite people today? I'm lucky. I'm extremely privileged in both my personal life, but also in my life here at Zinzino. I got people who applies for jobs today that is not existing. So I got stacked up good people, candidates to join forces and joins the team. And we're working constantly on recruiting people in the right ones. And you remember me saying, and maybe this became a little bit of a longer speech, so apologize for that. But I have a very strong sentence which I'm running internally, and that is keep the keepers, move up or move out. That means that instead of talking about taking people out, I say in the opposite side, I would like to make sure that the good ones stays in the company. Would that say that we will always keep everyone that is fantastic? No, we could lose people, and that's totally okay. Then they might find a different job than we couldn't offer them at this time being, which is also a proof of that we are doing something right. But we have extremely good candidates and good people not only in the management. So if you look behind the scenes and look at the team that created the data transfer when you came in,
Yes.
extraordinary team, they did it themselves. I have so many good team members in so many layers, and I know them, of course, now because I've been around for 13 years. I know them personally. I recruited them personally, many of them. But I'm very proud of the culture that we have created, not only on the corporate side, but also on the field side and how we work together, Art. Um, so it's not as easy as it seems to be, like on the outside. It's a lot of thinking behind and a lot of actions, a lot of hours to create what we have created. I think it's possible to copy what we're doing, but you need to put the hours in and you need to have time and patience on doing this.
Well, of course, working with many of your country managers from the different countries, and now here with Art Jonick in the United States, and I mean, one of your corporate members actually was the president of $1 billion direct selling company, and they're seeing what I'm seeing and what other people seeing, that Zinzino is different. For all of us that are either wellness focused or been in direct sales, and certainly you can go to a health food store and you can see all these products. Zinzino really is different, starting at the core, which is the product, which is this balance test. And could you just give us a little insight into where we are today in terms of the product development and what the future looks like? Is this all, not that it has to be all, obviously, this is huge. This is, I guess, about 70% of our business, but the prospect of doing 100 million customers, I mean, that's a big number.
Yeah, is it a big number? Depending on how you look at it. I mean, if you look at Apple or Google or Facebook or tons of others, I mean, BMWs and Teslas. So it is a high number, yes. Is it a possible number? Yes, for sure. It will never be an end game. I mentioned the strategy, Art. So we have clear points every year of things we want to develop and create. One of the things is that we want really to have a stable tech side. So we have invested the last 10 years tremendously a lot of hours and money into the tech side. Branding, it has to be a standout brand, a brand that really sticks. And a lot of direct sales companies forget that this takes just ages, decades to create good brand, but you need to keep on pushing that every year. So you need to look at the best things. You need to make sure that the brand sticks out, it keeps their promise, and we need to go be out there, and you are the first one to represent the brand, and then everything else that we do. We are doing acquisitions, and we are making sure that you as a partner here continuously gets good new partner tools, which what we are calling them. Then the products, I love the products personally. I really do. I use the products. I love the products. I know for sure what we're going to create. But it's going to be built stone for stone. Like you take one step at a time. So the test that you showed, the potential of that test is enough, honestly, to build the 100 million customers. But of course, when we know all what we know, we have 1.4 million analyses. We know that we can do more, and we will do more. There will be new tests and new products, but we're going to cautious put them into the market because we don't want you to be overflowed of new products, because it could be a little bit confusing, and then it could actually decrease the growth instead of increasing the growth. So you need to be cautious, and also you need to find the right products, the right tests, the unique tests that really fits our company and the brand and the philosophy and the growth and the ambition. But we have some exciting news. I know that you might want to talk about that, but I'm not going to be slippery slope on telling you too much about that. But I can tell you, we got groundbreaking science that will be coming out over the next years.
Well, you said a lot in that short piece there. As far as products go, I know in Europe we launched Multiply, which is a children's product, and I thought, but this is a brilliant move. Let's get there. You go. Let's get people, young mothers, right, starting a family. Let's get them introduced to Zinzino at that level, because what I love about Zinzino is we have a product people can use their entire life and will benefit their health for their entire life. So, of course, now I'm here in the U.S., focused right now a little bit more in the U.S. I'm hoping that we can see that in the near future. I know you're working, and it's been publicized that we're working on a gut health test, whatever that means. For someone like me, I don't, I hear leaky gut, all our medical professionals know. And I know we got a big conference coming up, and there's supposedly some exciting things coming there. Can you give us a sneak peek, Doug, at what we can kind of look forward to this year?
Yeah, well, Multiply is it's part of a program that we started many years ago, and that is to take care of the kids. So we have a couple of kids flavors on the balanced oil. A lot of parents, they are using the Extend, but the Extend Plus, ripping it apart, put it in the yogurt. So this is a little bit of an easier way to give a kid or a child a tasteful multivitamin with lots of good benefits. You mentioned a couple of things. I don't want to leak too much, but at the annual event, I'm so much looking forward to bring a new concept coming. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Whether or not it's going to be a test, not sure. It's a little bit depending. We don't want to launch it before everything is perfect. So we are trying to be smart and clever in everything that we do. So we don't confuse or doing anything wrongly, I would say. But knowing if your gut have the right bacteria or you have the right food for your gut, that's going to be interesting even for you, Art, and me. So yes, and the way that we have figured it all out, it's pretty clever. Many hours and years, I would say.
Wow. Well, of course, I'm so curious. I'm a marketing guy. I've been blessed with a lot of financial success from this industry, this profession of direct-to-consumer marketing, home-based business. And since Zinzino, I've just really absorbed myself, like reading Dr. Paul Clayton's books, reading Dr. Colin Robinson's books, working with Stephen and Dr. Natalie and Stephen on the Science Advisory Board, and Stuart Tom. These guys are just saying, hey, study, read, Google omega-6 to omega-3, read these papers, look at PubMed, stuff I would never imagine, Doug. And so I learned that gut health is the starting point for your immune system. And I'm so on board with the mission to improve people's health. My goal is to change the direction of people's health for over 1 million plus people just in our team. So I want to thank you for, you're holding the standard very high for what we're going to offer to people. And what's really impressive when I look at the company is the financials. I see that Zinzino is different than other companies. A lot of companies post-pandemic were pulling back. A lot of companies were suffering. And what Zinzino did was remarkable. I look back on the numbers, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, but it looked like you've been averaging almost double-digit growth, even well before I came here, for most of the years you've been in business. And also, I looked at the financials, and it looks like 10 or 11 years in a row, you've been paying dividend to the shareholders. Of course, I've seen your interviews on all the financial news, online stories, and the TV, where you represent the company because it's publicly traded, and you talk about the growth. You release all these audited financials to the marketplace, and I know we're nearing 200 million or so. And so again, I'm impressed with the performance of the company. And even when I signed there, the company that I've been with for 25 years were so impressed with what you were doing, what Zinzino's story is, and obviously they must believe in what my team can bring to the table. They invested $1 million into the stock. So could you just give us an insight into these acquisitions? And recently we got an olive oil company, 40, I guess a 49% share is when I read the press release. And we look at, you've acquired a couple direct selling companies, probably for building distribution and getting, more people on board with sharing the Zinzino story. But from a corporate strategy, from where you sit as the guy, the chief executive officer, and you're doing things that I've never seen in direct selling, and from a corporate level. So any insights you can give us to what's going on with these acquisitions and maybe what we can look forward to in the growth of the company from where you sit as the CEO?
Well, I don't know if we're doing things totally different from others, but we're extremely focused on what we are doing per se. Hey, I think it comes with a couple of so we were kind of early stage. This is 10, 12 years ago. We stated that we want to have profitable growth. So growth in itself is important, but if you can get the profits at the same time, then you create a healthy company. One of the things that you mentioned is that most of the partners, the biggest owners in the company, I think top 20 in this company are field leaders. So this company is owned by the field and a couple of other of us who is in the corporate team, even though we're in the stock market. But we wanted a company, Ern and Hilda wanted a company where the partners could feel safe, secure, where all the field leaders could also be a part of the eventually growth of owning a share and being paid out dividends. So one of the things that when you are basically buying companies or you are paying out dividend, what you do is that you need to create an environment where you have a healthy business and building stone for stone. And we've been able to do that at the same time paying out dividend and at the same time buying companies and doing acquisitions. And maybe you restrict yourself a little bit not to be too crazy and wild. So you need to be cautious in how you're running the operation and building the business. One of the things that you know of me is that I don't want to waste money on things that is not giving any bit for any benefit for the corporate or for myself. I mean for the corporate and for the field. I mean, when you have growth, you should be able to take care of your costs and maneuver that. That is not easy because you have lots of different demands and wishes. Open this new market. In this market, we do it like this. We should have had that. And then, of course, getting the buy-in from the field that we don't need a fancy, shiny office. That office is going to cost you commission. So if you understand all of these things, we can operate things in a way which is more efficient. So I say that customer care and support to partners, that is core business. But owning warehouses is not core business. We are outsourcing that. Having lots of office spaces is not core business. We don't own a lot of office spaces. We have very humble office spaces. So we don't waste money on that. We rather spend them on marketing budgets or events or incentive trips, if you understand. So, or even we pay more on servers than we pay in office rentals. So to have good capacity all across the world. So you need to think a little bit what kind of company you want to be. Back to having 11 years of paying out dividend, that's correctly, but that is a team effort. That is not a one-man show. It's a team effort. It's an ambition that we have, and we want to keep building the company that way. We could probably have grown faster if we were crazy and spending money and bringing a lot of money into the company from different investors and all that. And then we can be more crazy and wild and spending money and on things. But that is a choice that we have made to build the company humble and good, strong financial foundations.
We have in Zinzino, obviously, there's thousands of people that make this a great side business, a side hustle, so to speak, where they make extra money. Some go on to make full-time incomes. But I, as someone that's had a lot of success in the industry and many friends I've talked to that also have been around for a while, no one has seen a company that's offering shares in the company as an incentive to become one of the best of the best. Now, it's not for everyone, but recently that got solidified through the vote of the shareholders. And to me, that was remarkable. And it's one of the big reasons that, I'm really grateful to be here and want to do this one more time. And I've got a lot of people on the line that want to be part of Zinzino because they love the product, they love the story, but they said, I want to be able to taste a little bit of the success beyond just the commission check. So that is correct what I'm saying, right? This just happened.
We are constantly giving out options. But that is not everyone can be a shareholder, and it's cheaper to kind of buy the share today than to buy an option and then buy the share. But nevertheless, we want every partner to be part of the Zinzino. One of the good things, which is a little bit tricky or a smart move, is that when we talk to the leader council, which is the top earners and the top producers in the company, you invite them to also give feedback and ideas, but they never push me or Aaron and Hilde, the founders, to do stupid moves because it's impacting not only their commission, but also their dividend. So you get like a smart kind of team who thinks for the best for the company long term. Short term, we can do a lot of crazy things, but long term, we need to be a stable company to become the largest player in our industry. Then you need to be here for the next 20 to 30 years. And you mentioned growth. We've had significant and good growth, average double digit, the last 19 years, if you're just looking at it. There has been years with 6, and 1 year there was 8, maybe 9, but the rest is over that. So in average, much more than double digits. Not much more, but more like 20.
A little bit about the international expansion, and specifically a lot of US viewers are going to see this. I talked to Art just this last couple of days. We talk all the time, but he said the US is actually the fastest growing market right now. And can you just kind of give us a little vision of what the plan is? We're in 45 countries. We ship to 100. Where are we going from here? And how does the US market look to you?
Alrighty. So every market on the planet will have a Zinzino product eventually one day, except a couple, maybe. North Korea might be, depending on how they're developing, or Iran. So that is the dream, that is the vision, and we will take them. And we have a stable business in Asia. We have shipping products to 2, 3, 4 markets in Africa, and we started a journey in Latin America last year, and it's going to be this year. Peru is on the list, and a couple of other markets in Latin America. So it's very connected to the US market. The number one market in Zinzino is the German market, Deutschland, Germany. So that's by far the largest market. But I can see good growth in US, and my kind of belief is that US and Germany will compete on being the #1 market in for Zinzino sales, and then the potential is higher in US with a higher population. And
Okay.
sorry to say, Art, but I think even the US market needs our product even more than the German market if you look at the tests. And I have statistics telling me this, and there is no other place when I'm traveling to US, and you talk about one of the missions in life. A lot of the people that get so much better on having the products, you can say things like severe headaches, migraine that disappears, skin disorders, which doesn't necessarily has anything to do with the product. It has to do with the products. But there is no other place that I'm traveling to where I get more testimonials about the products and what it does than in US. So we are on a mission when it comes to helping people. There are so many lives and families that have been so much better, and that in itself is worth sometimes more than the money we're getting out of it. So yeah, I look forward to see US become the #1 market for Zinzino.
Well, I feel like the potential, obviously, with the population is here. The problem is huge. You know, a wealthy person once told me, find a huge problem, provide a solution, and you can actually make a lot of money. And and I honestly, in all my years of direct selling, I've never been so excited as I am about the Zinzino opportunity, starting with yourself, Orion and Hilda, the management team I've met. I'm so impressed, and I feel really blessed and grateful to be, considered in a little bit in the inner circle with yourselves, because I came with a history. But I'm only as good as the team I've been putting together, and you can't live on the past. So I look at what I've done in my career, and I can honestly say, yeah, network marketing, direct selling gives people a chance to make extra money. It gives them a chance to learn about residual. But when I look at Zinzino, I know I have a chance to really change people's life. I couldn't wait to educate my family and friends. Stacy and I first said, our kids need to know about this. We need to get them tested. We went home for a holiday to the States from Spain a few months ago and got everybody tested. I was just here with all of my son's friends who are in their late 20s. We got them all tested. And I'm the leading, Stacy and I are the leading customer getters in the entire team, which that never happened in any other company. So, Doug, I'm telling you, I honestly can say with enthusiasm and passion, this is the most important thing I've ever done in my life. And I want to just thank you. I honestly thank you and what you're doing. I know you're working multiple time zones. I am in a bit as well. But, I feel there's no time to sleep right now. I feel like it's urgent. And I'm telling every person watching this, you need to embrace what's here. You don't often find yourself at the right place at the right time with the right people. And I just feel blessed to be part of this. And I want to thank you so much for what you all have done. For years, I've known about Zinzino. It's not like this is a new thing for me. I worked a lot in Scandinavia. I have a ton of friends and partners in all the different markets there. And certainly have heard, seen Zinzino grow a step at a time. And I just, again, I just got to thank you. Can you just leave us with a closing comments about the vision and where we're going from here?
Yeah, I'm gonna find who wants to talk to us. On top of that, there is someone.
There we go.
I'm not gonna say anything different than I'm very blessed also to have a good team around me. I'm happy that you are here, Art. I'm proud that you are here. You brought lots of good. You mentioned many names yourself. I got the chance to spend time with Stuart, but also Stephen and Natalie in Houston. So you got like super good team members. In Europe, we spent like lots of time in early
Yep.
this year. So of course that has been fantastic for us. And then I think we're gonna learn a lot from you. Every time we got some new team member in, we will take the feedback and the insight that you bring to the table, and then we will slowly improve Zinzino to becoming a better place for customers and also new distributors and partners to join forces with us. And I'm super excited, as you are, to get some of the good scientists on board in US. So all of these things is just happening, and I feel blessed and lucky myself, Art, to just be on this call and talk slowly and softly about Zinzino. And you said it yourself, we've been like a secret almost. But what is good is that we have trained ourselves. We have that time to develop. So when you are coming and showing up to over an annual event, you will be saying, I had no idea that you can throw kind of this kind of event with this kind of content. This is very impressive. You will be impressed because we have had 19 years of preparation. So we weren't like born yesterday per se, and we are pretty tough on ourselves to improve ourselves. And we will continuously improve what we are doing, the offering and everything, and the products and the marketing, the branding, and also studies. There will be studies released based on the database that we have. But foremost, and the most important thing in the end of the day, you can have the best secret, the best product in the world, but if no one is offering and selling and showing the plan and showing the products and showing the tests, doesn't matter. So the job that you guys are doing here on the call, that's going to be the main difference. That's going to be the what's going to be helping me building the company on the corporate side. So without you, we're nothing. So continue the good job. Thank you for all the effort and the results that you are creating together with us.
Well, in just a few months, we already have thousands of customers, but it's just really it's a snowflake on the tip of the iceberg of what my vision is, what Zinzino's vision is. I want to thank all of you that are watching this presentation for being here today. I know you took time from your life to be here, and certainly, Doug, I'm so, again, grateful for your leadership. I have so much trust in you. I had a top direct seller meet with you, talk with you. He's been around a long time. He said, I've interviewed 50 different CEOs. I've interviewed 50 different owners of companies in his 30 plus year career. He said, I have never met a company where I feel more of a partnership, that this is really a partnership. And he says, there's no company I've ever met where I can honestly say to people, this is perfectly positioned to become a multi-billion-dollar brand. So that's
Nice.
well, it's a true statement. I felt the same way. I wasn't an easy guy to bring on board because I've been doing this for so long, and I really needed to put a team together to help me do the research. I felt a lot of people, were trusting in me over the years, and I felt a huge responsibility to give them a home, a long-term home. I'm at an age, as you said, early on, it was my birthday yesterday. I'm not doing this again. And I am so thankful that Zinzino was the right choice. Stacy and I talk about it all the time. We just feel blessed. We thank God for this, actually, that this came into our life. We feel grateful to be part of the team, and we got a lot to prove here. Like I said, the past is the past. This is a new start. So everyone watching this is it. This is it. So, Doug, I'm going to see you in Oslo in October. Anybody that isn't registered, I'd say get to Oslo. If you can get there, make the commitment. It'll be well worth your time and money and effort. You'll leave there. You won't need a plane to fly home.
Thank you for having me, and take care and have a fantastic summer, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, everyone.